Okay, so let's bring in John Wiese, my partner in CTO. I am so insanely grateful. And here, I'll give you this mic. I think this one's better. You can put that one down.
All right.
I am so grateful for John Wiese, that he has trusted me, that he has dealt with my chaos to launch this company, and for the connection that two of you have had. I'm going to let the two of you talk for a moment, and I'm going to go check in with my team. I'll be back.
Thank you, Ian.
Okay.
Hey, thanks, Ian. Hey, John. So John is also instrumental of kind of putting this event on. We've built a great relationship over the last few months. So, John, if you wouldn't mind, just give us a bit about your background and then what got you interested in co-founding the WMVAI business.
I think I turned it off.
Well, my background has been a little bit of business, but a lot of technology. I love technology and everything, and that's the problem. I love it all. But what got me together with Ian was I was living up in Reading, and they had a startup event, and I was calculating, do I go do another startup event, or
It's done. Let's use this camera. Can we use?
Oh, you're coming. You're going to be free food got me again, and met Ian, and there was some beautiful things around voice assistance, and adding blockchain and AI. So it seemed like the perfect convergence of different technologies. They're all coming together at once.
So tell us a little bit more about how AI plays a role in what you guys are doing.
Yeah, so we're working with all the voice assistants like Google Home, Amazon, Alexa. So we're also building content. So when our partners want to put their content on these devices, we do the content programming so they can go all these different devices. But we can also take machine learning, like Google has machine learning libraries right online as a service. We can convert that to various languages around the world. So then they get a broader reach of what their message is, whatever that message is, whether it be a business message or a nonprofit message, that goes a lot farther global reach.
Great, that's a great question. And so tell me a little bit about what the rest of the team looks like, because I know you have a really interesting team. I know one of the things that you guys have in place is, and I thought this was amazing, is you can push this content once you create it to 45 different languages, I believe, all across the world. I mean, the reach that you're going to have with this platform is amazing. So tell me a little bit about the team and kind of those different pieces that you have to help you guys expand.
So we have sound engineers on staff and part of the partnership. And we can do regular voice translation the old-fashioned way. So we take voice actors and we put those messages from our customers on Alexa or Google Home. And then we also can take that one message and translate that into another language. So having all this reach, both a traditional way to do that, but also using machine learning, AI technology. And then on top of that, with our R-Chain partnership that we haven't announced yet, basically, we're going to be able to create a system to help monetize the content. A lot of content, like music, is basically, not easily monetized anymore. The artist gets left out. So how do we get that monetization so the content creators be able to really get an uplift on basically their content?
So you mentioned R-Chain. So I obviously work really closely with R-Chain. What attracted you to R-Chain as a blockchain versus some of the other really, really fantastic blockchains out there?
Yeah, there's several blockchains out there. We can look at first generation technology like a Bitcoin, maybe a second generation like Ethereum. But what R-Chain is a third generation blockchain. They're taking us where other blockchains can't. And they have the best foundation that I've seen for the technology, and it's right around the corner. Your testnet's coming up real soon.
Right.
The live net's going to be the end of the year time frame, right? And so having the right technology to be able to sort of take the tools where we want to go. And, first tool we're going to be doing is what we call attention and influence coin. The next area is a lot of automation stuff, just to put it simply and not get into a lot of details.
That's amazing. And then I know we've had some chance to spend together. I'm just curious to hear your thoughts about Reflective Ventures and your interactions with them as well.
Reflective Ventures, the venture arm of our chain, is building out this group of applications that go on their chain. And they're also such a open company that have their meetings online. They have the right kind of team. They seem fun to work with. It's always good to work with fun people. And their technologists are first class. And then they have the marketing and business venture side. So that's really what attracts us most to you guys.
Awesome. No, thank you so much. I mean, it's been great working with you guys, great working with your team. So I'll ask you, I mean, are you working with do you have other partnerships with other blockchain companies as well? And then maybe that's something we can cover actually later on in the live stream. But John, I just wanted to say thank you so much for coming
Thank
on.
you.
Thank you very much.
I'm so grateful that you're here with me.
I'm glad you're here. You're the mouth.
You're the brain.
Sometimes.
A lot of times.
But we have a lot of fun together.
We do laugh a lot. We have
And,
an amazing team.
So a team has to like each other and work together and function together, and we're doing that. We're killing it, aren't we?
Yes, we are. All right. Tell everybody a bit about WMVAI. Keep it brief because we have more conversations to have, and I'm going to interview you and the full spectrum a bit later tonight.
Yeah. So WMVAI is all about bringing value to attention and influence so we can monetize content. But we're working on the latest technology that's in billions of dollars of homes. And basically in Alexa, Google Home, that the mechanisms are in the homes, are going in the car, but we're managing all that content for our customer base. So it's a SaaS business, and we're just having fun building the tools to allow the next generation to put their message on these devices.
That's awesome. John, thank you for being here. Thank you for being my partner, for trusting me, for letting me be the mouth to your brain.
Yes. Thank you, brother. Okay. Thank you.
Well, I'm going to invite one of my favorite people up, John Wiese, my partner and the CTO of our company, WMVAI, where we magnify voice for attention and influence. And if you want to know more about the company, you can look online. We're not here to promote our company. We're here to talk about blockchain. So, John, my friend.
Yes, my friend.
Give me a decade vision of what you think is going to happen in the blockchain industry.
Well, several people have used the word trust, and I think that sums it up. Right now, we see mistrust in a lot of areas. We see it in the political realm. We see it, in government realm. We see it in companies. We don't trust a company. How do you ever do business, even if it's a simple transaction like buying a car, if you don't trust the other party? So this sort of tells me a story of hope. So, if you look at this technology, it's just a technology. Data structures, algorithms, a very complicated one that we're all trying to figure out. But, don't be fearful of all those terms. We need to learn how to trust one another, but to do that, there has to be performance on the other side. So how do we do that? Well, the blockchain gives us tools to be able to trust one another and show performance. So we can add, I see in the next 10 years, it may be regulated to use a blockchain technology in your business to say, my books are run on a blockchain. This stuff is all open to the right parties. Not everybody can have access to everything, but there's nothing going on behind the scenes that you shouldn't trust me. And so that extends across every area of life, whether it's corporate, legal, whatever. But now think about, if we look at what drives economies, it is trust. I mean, and governments that may be doing things wrong will have to come in line and start showing that they can earn trust, especially when the technology is there. I think of it as sort of, it's beyond databases, it's beyond all that, but it's sort of the next oracle, if we look at it, of how the technology can map trust that translates into hope, and that hope can rise up people, right? So let's give an example. So in some second, tier world, and you're in an economy that is not run, there's no records, there's no legal records that you own this ground or this land. People don't have trust that they'll be able to keep that land, especially if there's a disaster and a flood comes, somebody else comes in with a bigger gun, so it really gives a lot of uncertainty in these economies. So we want to bring certainty into the world economy that brings hope at the lowest levels of society so that we can all rise up and trust each other again.
That's great.
And bringing hope.
What do you think is going to happen the next year? Like, what are you hopeful for in the blockchain space in the next 12 months? We're working on a bunch of exciting things, but it's way beyond our little ecosystem, the broader ecosystem. What do you hope to happens in the next year?
So I believe we're in the infrastructure stage of this technology. And a lot of people are saying, well, it doesn't scale, doesn't do this, doesn't do that. There's some amazing companies out there that basically are thinking those problems to a real solution. How do you scale this? How do you make sure people can access the data, et cetera? And so that's happening right now before our eyes. I think 2019 is probably a pivotal year for all that coming together. And it's exciting to see, the internet was an internet 1.0, but we're almost like generation 3 on the blockchain for technology.
What do you think people should do in this room? What is the call to action, regardless of where people are at in the blockchain space or watching online? What do you think people should do? What should they lean into?
I think they need to sort of learn about the technology, but not worry about all the details. Engineers will do that. Unless you're an engineer, you'll have to learn all that stuff. But speak about technology that's going to give hope and trustworthiness to society in general. Because really, don't we want just hope for the whole world being able to sort of trust each other again? Because I see most of the time when there's conflicts, it's either somebody's really greedy and wants to be the top of the pyramid, or they don't trust each other, so they never work out their situation. It can be a business situation. It could be even a conversation about things. But getting down to the real facts and how we can do, life with the rest of the world and bring hope to everybody.
That's great. John, thank you for joining me. Thank you for being my partner. I'm so excited.
Thank you so
to be able to
much.
work with you. And thank you for coming and speaking
All right.
about